All right, well, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin.
I'm Tarsha.
And this is, of course, Conversations with the Crawleys, where we have conversations about faith, family, relationships, and recaps, reviews, and commentary on some of our favorite shows. This one is dedicated to just dedicated to Ready to Love, Season 5 DC edition. So if this is content that you enjoy, and I'm sure it is, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, hit the like, request notifications,
and share. And
we are going to see you in the comments. All right. So again, not a recent or new episode this past week. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and all of those fun things. Happy Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Festivus for the rest of us. All right. So shout out to my Jerry Seinfeld friends. All right. So but something that we saw in the trailer,
right,
that we got a little more clarity on, that is going to be, I'm sure, a centerpiece of the new episode coming up, was this interaction between Shiloh and Phil. And you see them sitting like they are sitting at the principal's office,
right,
with Tommy,
Uncle Tommy.
And so we had speculation, like, are they sleeping together? What's going on?
Right.
Because this seems to be different than what we've seen before, right? So a clip was released that kind of at least gave some clarity. Just the gist of what we were able to get was that they were at the club, at the bar, and Shiloh's asking questions. Phil is giving non-answers.
Well, she's asking, where am I as far as in your process?
Right.
You know, where do you see me in your process? Because we saw in the last episode, Shiloh indicates she's choosing him. I want to be with you.
Right.
And he's like, okay, I'm going to circle around the block, but I'm not going to tell you if I'm going to be with you or someone else.
So he gives, it was, we kind of noticed it a few weeks ago when he had the 3 dates with the best friends, and he was kind of skirting around the issue.
A little vague.
With Tasia and who else was it? Aisha. And Shiloh, because remember, Sydney wasn't even really in the picture at that point.
No, it was just the two of them. Originally, it was just the two of them, I thought, because in that episode, his ex-girlfriend came and Shiloh and...
No, this is when, I'm talking about when he met with their best friends.
Oh, gotcha. That's right.
Or their family.
That's right.
I think it was their friends, right?
Their friends, exactly.
So when he met with those 3 young ladies,
you're right,
he kind of evaded answers, right?
Right, which makes sense. It was still early.
Right? Now that things are starting to get a little more solidified, evading is not really lending anyone to have great confidence in you, right?
Right, and I get it. It's just his communication style. That's where I'm going to put it.
Right.
It lands on his communication style. Because like we talked about Frank has been very upfront. Like, hey, I really like you and I like somebody else. I'm just letting you know.
Right.
I'm trying to really work through the process and where I stand.
Right.
While Phil's approach is, well, I don't like conflict, because he said this. He's like, I don't like conflict.
True.
So he's already indicated that. And now he's like, he's trying to avoid the question while he works through his process. But it's causing Phil problems.
Oh, yeah.
And Frank has no problems.
Right.
Right. He got 99 problems. But
listen,
I'm just saying, because someone's being very upfront with their answer.
Clarity kills doubt.
Clearly kills doubt.
It's so, for
avoiding comfort.
On Frank's side, he's killed all doubt. He's like, look, I'm interested in both of you.
Right.
I'm clear about that.
Right.
For Phil, that's not necessarily, he kind of skirts around his.
Right.
And so he gives her an I got you. And she's like, nah, bro, I need a little more than I got you.
A got you works with your buddy, your bro.
I got you works if you're going to take care of the tab, right? I got you. Don't worry. I got this. I got the appetizers. I got this next round. Whatever. I got you don't work for where do you see us?
Right.
I got you.
Right.
Nah.
Right. And I'm going to play devil's advocate right here too. Because we see also always on the female side, when you continue to bring the pressure of, I'm not getting a direct answer from you.
Right.
and you keep pushing it, then you also put you in a situation with a man who doesn't like conflict.
True.
To choose us because they feel over pressure.
Yeah, there is. So I think the thing that is the mistake that is we see too often on like Ready to Love is that some people are acting as if, or treating it as if, this is a marriage proposal that is waiting at the end, when that's not it. It's just I'm choosing to move forward and investigate a deeper relationship and connection with you. And so therefore, for like you're saying, to put that pressure of where do I stand in this process, it's different than on The Bachelor, where you're trying to figure out where you stand to get a proposal.
Right.
This is where do you stand to potentially be sitting next to somebody on the couch having a deeper interview with Tommy at the reunion special, because we want to know where you all are as far as the progress of a potential relationship.
And to me, this tells you what type of man you're going to be in a relationship with. So if you can be forthright with how you're feeling right now towards me, then later in the relationship, you're telling me you're going to have trouble communicating that with me. Or when you're upset, or when when you're angry, or you don't like something, you're going to be skirting around the issue. So I think that should have been her focus. Like, you know what? I'm going to back off. I see that, you keep giving me these very vague answers. I need to say, is this a red flag for me? That I want to continue in this, instead of pushing for an answer. Because she says, well, when he got angry, he gave me because you keep pushing him when you shouldn't be investigating what he is giving you. A lot of times we're so looking for an answer, we're not investigating how people are responding. And do we want to be in a mutual relationship with that? You got to pick up everything they throw out.
Every clue.
Every clue.
Take it all in.
Take it in.
So what looks to be kind of the sticking point there is that Shiloh was like, okay, I can't talk right now. I don't want to be kind of near you right now. So she takes a step. She takes a step away. She walks away. Phil, who says that, the question was, were they drinking? Phil's like, I had one shot, and he doesn't look like somebody who's going to be taken out by one shot.
But they were at a bar, spot, so maybe they had a couple more once they got there. But
basically, the sticking point for Shiloh came when it looks like Phil picked her up, trying to take her back to the car.
Physically trying to take her back to the car.
Not just pulled up next to her in the car. It's like, hey, come on, get in. Like physically picked her up. Probably trying to put over her shoulder, what have you. Taking her back to the car. And so for her, that triggered some things as far as her past and relationships. And so I'm looking at that saying, bruh, you're not at that stage right now where you can do, I feel that you can do that. Not that that's ever really a thing to do.
No, I don't think it's ever a thing.
I mean, I know when we've had intense fellowships and disagreements, and one of us says we need a break, I'm going to allow you that break. Now, if Phil had in that moment said, you know what, she's going to go around the corner, I'm going to hang back, I'm going to make sure that she's safe. Kudos. That's what I would expect him to do, But physically picking her up to try and take her back to the car, nah, bro.
Nah, I think you have to be mindful of people. He's like, it'd be more like, hey, where you going? I don't want to talk to you right now. Okay, like you said,
can I get you an Uber home? Something.
Hey, I need to know you're safe. So if you're gonna take a break, I'm gonna be right here until you get back. And that's it. I just want to make sure you're good. You don't need a ride home. I'm just not going to leave you, because that'd be a scumbag. So I'll be like, you're a jerk. You just left me by myself. And we don't know how much she was drinking or not, but you don't want to leave anybody vulnerable. If we came together, I just want shut up anywhere. You want to make sure that they're okay. So I get that he was trying to make sure, but at the same time, you can't force anything on people's will. And so I don't see him the type of person to be physically, or that type of person that may be over aggressive or controlling.
I think it was a combination of her trauma, and his actions, which his actions were not great, I can just plain devil's advocate, I can kind of see where they were coming from.
Right.
But he shouldn't have done it, right?
No.
But I think the level that it rose to also was triggered by what she admitted was her triggers, but
Right.
it happened in her past.
Right.
So we'll see how that plays out for them.
Yeah. I mean, if she feels like, well, I can't go on this journey wondering when the whole time he could be really leaning to her.
Right.
But he just don't know how to communicate that. And I'm starting to question when we're talking about you put yourself out there as an intimacy coach. Now, if to me, you're coaching people through intimacy who have a lack of intimacy. And a lot of times, people who have a lack of intimacy cannot communicate or be vulnerable or tell you how they feel because of whatever past relationships or rejection or anything. So I don't understand why she can't pick up on his lack of communication and vulnerability concerning on where he wants to go as far as the relationship. I'm just putting that out there.
Yep.
That's your title. You told us you're an intimacy coach. So obviously you have to see all the flaws to be able to coach people to another level.
And that's a whole other conversation, because the question is can effective coaches
be effective in good relationships?
Right. Because think about it, for sports, most of your great coaches were mediocre players. Right?
Okay.
Phil Jackson in basketball, mediocre player, phenomenal coach. So most of it's one thing to actually do the work. It's another thing to coach the work, right? And so that's the question. Is she a great coach, but is she not great at picking up when she's a participant in the game of love? That'll preach right there.
That would.
All right.
I mean, that's a lot. That's something to think about. But I think we should consider both of that.
Yeah.
Not saying it's right. Hopefully he'll realize that in general, I need to communicate well.
Oh, yeah.
Because even his ex-girlfriend said it.
Yes.
He doesn't communicate well, and he doesn't like conflict. Well, why don't you like conflict? What in your past? Obviously, it always go back to your childhood. Where has there been so much conflict now that you think that everything's a conflict? Just because I dislike it doesn't always put you in a conflict.
Right.
Just because people ain't going to respond the way you want them to respond or like your response or it's going to be negative to them doesn't mean it has to be conflict.
Yeah.
So there's a learning point in it all.
We'll see.
We'll see.
So that's just a clip of what we'll expect to see in the upcoming episode. Like I said, we've got just maybe 2 more episodes of actual Ready to Love. Then we have the reunion special. But that's it for this one. Let us know in the comments what you think. Let us know what your thoughts are. Because if you look at Shiloh's body language, she looks like she was done. She looked at him like he had violated trust of like 30 years of marriage. She gave him that look like, I'm through with you.
Yeah.
So we'll see. All right, but let us know in the comments. We'll see you next time. Have a great one. Be blessed.
Be blessed.